Welcome back as we reflect on last month's Lancaster County real estate market statistics. Starting with our sold volume, we actually saw a huge increase from July into August. We went from 185-ish million to over 200 million in sold volume in August. Contributing factors in that would be the sold units. They actually increased from July, but the biggest factor would be the average sales price. We went from about $389,000 to $408,000. That's a really big difference. Again, that's a big contributor to our sold volume. Listed units and pending units, however, decreased from month to month. Like I mentioned, sold units went up. This is actually quite the opposite of what we saw in last year's trends. So last year, sold units decreased from July into August, while listed units and pending units went up. And again, this year we actually saw the listed units and pending units decrease from July into August. A trend that we did see similar to last year would be the interest rate changes. From July into August, we actually saw a decrease in the rate. Not a huge change in the rate. We went from about 6.7-ish to 6.56-ish. Again, not a major change, but a similar trend from year to year as we enter into the fall months. One of the key point indicators I like to talk about is the pending home sales index, right? This is what the activity is looking like right now in today's market. How many homes are going under contract compared to last month or the prior month and compared to last year. So when we look at pending home sales index, we actually saw a decrease compared to the prior month. So July to August, in August, we saw a decrease of pending home units. I already said that, right? Pending units are down from the prior month. However, when we look at it compared to last year, right, month over month compared to last year, year over year, we're actually seeing an increase. So in July, we were actually negative 11 in pending units when we compared it to the prior year. And in August, when we compared it to August 2024, we actually are in the positive. So not only did we see a positive swing, but we are in the positive when it comes to the pending home sales index. Again, this is the activity that we are seeing in the market right now. No lag factors like the sold units, right? That's a lag variable. That sold unit could have gone under contract 3 months beforehand, but our pending units are really what's telling us what the active market is doing. Now let's talk about months inventory. How much inventory do we need to have a balanced market? 4 to 6 months. Let's split the difference and call it 5 months. That's going to give us a balanced market. We're nowhere near that. We are still in a seller's market. So that means that we have less than 5 months worth of inventory in all pricing categories. We did have a few changes from July into August. In our $150,000 or less category, we actually are seeing 2 months worth of inventory. That means if no listings hit the market today, how much time will it take us to run out of inventory for all of that to be sold? We're looking at about 2 months. Another major change we saw from July into August would be the next step, that $150,000 to $200,000. We went from almost 2 months worth of inventory to less than a month's worth of inventory in that pricing category. It's not a huge shift, but when we're talking micro numbers, small numbers with all of this, it does feel much heavier and much more impactful. And finally, that 650 to 750 category, we went from about a month and a half worth of inventory to about half a month's worth of inventory. So again, that's not a huge change in the grand scheme of things, but when we're talking about really small numbers, this does become very impactful on that pricing category. So the question becomes, how does this impact you as a buyer or a seller? This is really going to be determined by not only your pricing category, but where you live, the type of home that you have. A lot of different variables come into play as to what your strategy should be. We'd love to be the market experts that you rely on to help you make the best decisions when it comes to offers or listing your home. So give us a call for a free consultation on the buy side and the list side. We're the experts that want to guide you. So until next time, stay tuned, stay kind, and stay aware. Halloween is just around the corner, and those K-pop demon hunter kids are going to be out in full force. We'll see you soon.
This has been TDG News.